ahead and call the meeting to order. Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting? I did have some corrections I did just get to in. I didn't have a chance to get through them until this evening. So. Anybody else see anything? If not, is there a motion to approve as corrected? Moved by Justin, second by Cale, all in favor? And then the minutes of the November 19th special meeting, I think I did have one minor correction in that one. Is there a motion to approve them as corrected? Moved by Cale, second by Justin, all in favor? Okay. Sheriff report, new business, building permits.
Just one from Connor Brogan. I don't know if you guys got it. Is it on there?
No. No, it is not.
Any concerns?
No, it's the fence is up by his garage, that little garage in the middle of the property.
Here, a motion to approve the building permit. Moved by
Second.
Cale, second by Justin, all in favor? Okay. That's it, Dan? Just the one?
Yep.
CMB license renewals for Pizza Hut.
Move to approve it. Second.
All right, moved by Cale, second by Larry, all in favor? Okay. Old business, remaining ARPA and bond funds.
So out there is the breakdown of what is left for the ARPA funds. Last meeting, council approved doing the WISE fire supply EMS gear, the bunker gear for, it was $2,600 and, I do apologize, it's right here, $667.26 plus freight to be paid out of the ARPA. I put $3,000 on the spreadsheet for right now to cover the freight costs because we don't know how much that is. Dan informed me today that he believes that the freight was actually in that cost. So the remaining ARPA funds are roughly around $17,500. So
That's what's left over.
yes, that needs to be obligated. Did further research onto what they meant by obligated. And I highlighted it. As soon as I find my highlights. Means an order placed or for property and services and entering into contract subawards and similar transactions that require payment. Has to be before December 31st.
Can we use it for the chip seal that we just had done?
So we looked into that. There's a lot in regards to surface transportation, street work, that this whole lovely packet that I did not get to go through the whole thing this weekend. It can be utilized for that. Another thing that we thought about was possibly using it for the Ward Electric contract that is out there for you guys tonight. It can be used for that. And then I brought it up to Dan's attention if we needed any transformers or half the cost for the hospital backup transformer that has been brought up at previous meetings. But it is all up to you guys.
Can we get backup transformers?
I imagine we could. I mean, we need to talk to the hospital board probably, make sure they're good with, because they're gonna pay part of it.
I mean, for us, I mean,
The transformer was upwards of 30,000, I think.
We have spares just for standard utility.
For, yeah, pole tops and stuff, we don't have a lot of pad mounts up there.
But can we use it for what we've already done to where we don't have to worry about allocating it in future projects? So we could just allocate it for the chip seal that's already done, and then the ARPA money would be done, and we wouldn't have to worry about.
Yes, Jen and I talked about it this morning, that we could do a journal voucher, or journal entry, sorry, to take it from where it was originally, out of that fund, put it basically back into that fund, and take it out of the ARPA to whatever we have at the end of the year.
They'll give us extra for streets in the future too, so.
Well, that way we're just done with it, so we're not
Yeah.
trying to allot for something that we're gonna do in the future, and then something comes up, and then we're just done with the ARPA money in
Sure, I'll make a
24,
motion.
then. What's it?
Sure, I'll make a motion.
Moved by Kale to use the remaining ARPA funds for the chip seal that was recently done.
Second.
I got Bud this time. So. Yeah. All in favor? You don't know,
Get out of
need
my
an
hair, right?
individual vote, do you, on that? All right.
And just to let you guys know, the remaining for the street bonds is $184,616.45. $67,744.60 is out of the 2020 street project, and $116,871.85 is out of the 2023
That's good.
street projects. So that may be utilized for anything moving forward.
Nice.
184,000.
Yes, $184,616.45. And that is shown in the capital funds on the fund status report that should be out on the shared drive as well. The number is number 52.
Anything else on that, or just keep looking forward to
I think we get our,
projects and?
yeah, we need to nail down a few blocks to do next and get it rolling. We can use those funds. That's more than we thought.
Yeah.
That's good.
Property cleanup, Dan, do you have anything?
No.
Project spending? Anything there? No.
Is the theater thing still happening?
Yeah,
Renovation?
They're got bids maybe the 2nd, so December, that somebody's gonna come and
Oh, cool. Do a bid for it?
talk to the board.
Cool.
street project. Anybody have a chance to drive around, or do we want to talk about that for the next meeting? I don't know. Jared, Bud, we two that weren't here at the last meeting, we talked, Leanne had sent the maps out for all of us to kind of go around and kind of pick our own spots of where we think we should pin down for the next project, so. Is everybody okay if we just
Yeah.
wait on that till the next meeting? Okay. Superintendent report.
So the loader tires ended up being cheaper, so we ended up putting two on for $2,808.78. There's a contract, I think it's on shared drive, about a next gen intern thing. I don't know if it's something you'd be interested, but if it is, we gotta fill this out back right. She contacted me today.
Could you use, because that's for somebody that would be high school age, right?
Yeah.
or some college.
16 and up.
But we don't, they can't run equipment, right? Or
No.
vehicles, or, so,
Not unless they're over 18.
Could they do recycling?
Do what?
Recycling?
Office work?
If we drive them up there.
yeah.
Can you drive?
Uh-uh.
Jessica actually came in and mentioned it to Leanne and I. But to be honest with you, we have 3 people in the office, so
Yeah, you already got.
mentioned it, you know. And then she mentioned about outside, like even like working on the planters or whatever. So that's why we told her to reach out to Leanne. That's what she said. Sometimes it's college age kids, because Leanne explained it was they were going to have to be 18.
But I understand you fill that out and they put it out on some job link. Kids can see it. You have to pay them $12 an hour while they're doing the internship. And then if they decide to become full-time, then you can talk about wages at that point.
Do they help with the wages, or
25 hours, I believe, a week.
they'll pay the $12 an hour?
That's the way I understood.
Is
Oh.
it the same deal?
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you stipulate that's for you to routine?
What's that?
Can you stipulate we must have one routine?
I don't know.
From what Jessica said, that whatever interns are basically interested in city work, that we can say, we have the minimum requirement of the age. But as long as they're in school, they're allowed to apply for the internship. That is why it's open to college students as well. And Larry, the reason there's an application over there for you is for the pool.
For the pool.
Is it something you think you could utilize, just summer help?
Maybe. I mean, I didn't even have time to really look at it. I got it this afternoon. Didn't have time to really sit down and look it over good.
What's everybody's thoughts?
I mean, if we do it, we gotta be prepared to pay out the rest. If we go more than 25 hours a week, we have to pay that.
Problem is getting paperwork now.
I know, that's just it.
Yeah. Yeah, for summer they can maybe do. No, can they even mow? Can they do?
They can mow,
They could do
They
But
can
you have
lead.
to-
property cleanup, maybe get some photos.
They can't drive unless they're 18.
Can they drive side by side?
No?
No.
You're kidding. They
I've
can't.
already looked into that.
Use a
They
shovel?
can drive their personal.
They
They
can
can't
drive their own
drive the
vehicle.
cities.
Okay, well.
Can they ride?
They can ride.
Well. I guess you have to think if you can use somebody.
Yeah.
And go from there, right?
And I can look at it, see if we can get it filled out the next couple of days and think about it. If you guys are good with it.
If you
Yeah.
think it'll work for you. Yep, go ahead.
You can take an intern for your job.
Yeah. I know we talked about this, but the sweeper is getting fixed. A couple of you didn't know we got it. We ran about 6 hours and started leaving the trail. So salesman come back and got it, and it's been hauled down there, and they're taking care of it. So
And that was under warranty, correct?
as much warranty as we give, but yeah, since it was
Yeah.
that soon. I mean, I called this guy and I'm like, hey, we put the check in the mail this morning. So he's gonna take care of it.
When do they expect it back? Don't know.
Don't know. I also talked to a guy with Berry Tractor about what the old loader might be worth. He's supposed to get back prices as a trade-in or whatever. I got a call from Aaron Brown that wants to haul our grass pile off. He does a compost business and he wants to
Aaron Brown,
haul it to his compost business.
what's our liability in it?
What you want?
It's a compost business. He wants to haul our grass pile off.
Where's he from?
Cope.
It's originally from here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
Lefty.
Oh. But he said he has insurance.
He
Yeah, every day, almost. I've known him
Is it
for
free to dump?
Yeah,
off
I've known him
free
a long
take?
time
a long
too.
time.
Yes, he'll haul it for nothing. He just wants
Because right now we just, what do we do with it?
to haul it up to the old dump.
Somebody wants it, take it.
Yeah,
How many times can you pick it up?
come get it.
I didn't ask that. I told him he'd have to put insurance on file here, and he didn't have any problem with it. So.
Anybody have a problem?
Nope.
As long as there's not a liability on us.
Yep. Ward is in town, and they're working on the lines from First Street from the power plant to River Street. Brock does have the bench, and it's put together, but it's not here yet. It's not here. It's in town. Well, I've had a question brought up of how big a building would someone need to put on the industrial park lot if they wanted to buy that lot?
Industrial. Oh, the one where.
Where Travis D is back. So I know you don't want a shed by any means. Is it 20 by 20 big enough? 20 by 30? I mean, what's that? Just put a shed, a building up there basically.
With
Someone
utilities?
wanted the lot. You know, I know we normally require a building. They were just asking how big a building.
But with utilities, right?
Probably.
I'm sure it would be, right?
Yeah. I've had one guy inquire about it, but I'm also inquiring a bit for myself too.
Probably a bigger one if you do it.
Yeah.
Bigger better.
50 by 100.
50 by, yeah.
50 by
100.
100. How big's the lot? You know,
I think it, 1 foot around the whole board.
I'll build her that big.
3 feet from the 3 feet from
Three
the sides.
feet, yeah.
25 from the street.
This
Guess
would
we'd
really-
have to, I mean, we did talk, I don't know if the other one did, because I mean, obviously
I
a
know
small.
Travis come in with the size and it wasn't much
I
more
mean,
than a
what-
garden shed.
And
Not
that's
the
not
first
gonna.
time, was it?
The
No.
first one was
It was
bigger.
But it was gonna be an enclosed carport. So he thought, from over here.
Well, how big's 20 by 24? I
It's
don't know.
like a 2-car garage.
Yeah, basically.
Which isn't bad.
Guess if somebody can get some use out of it.
Don't we normally just have somebody present a plan and then
Yeah, I don't think there's a required.
Not a required, but you wanna, the whole purpose of it was to regenerate some revenue within the city. And
Right.
obviously a little garden shed is not gonna be hardly anything in taxes and then, you know,
try to
same lot. I guess we,
How much is the, how
no,
big is?
not the last time I was by there. Which was last
I'm
week.
betting it's
Is stuff still on it?
Do you still got his stuff on it?
30. Last time, yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, last week it was there.
And he
Want me to send a
caught
letter?
me out here and said someone was supposed to help you with the trailer, but that was
That was last,
a couple of weeks ago.
I was gonna say.
I think I brought it up last meeting.
yeah.
He came in at the end of last week, says he knows that he's supposed to. He's been sick for a week since after he talked to Dan.
Just give him a deadline. Send a letter with a deadline.
Do you want me to tell me what the deadline is?
Christmas.
End of the year?
First, I was gonna say,
End of the
first
year?
December 24th, and we serve him on Christmas if he's.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
With the Santa hat on.
Yeah.
Let's give him to the end of the year, December 31st.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes in with a proposal and wants to buy it before then, we're not gonna let them.
By the time we would get a council meeting and get the deed drawn up and
Okay.
paperwork, we're probably a month out anyways. So
Alright, sounds good.
I would think,
Yeah.
unless Dan has
That makes
something that's
sense.
pretty hot and heavy on them.
Not at the moment, no.
He is, he's ready for it.
Yeah.
You guys have the building.
100 by 150.
Of course he says no, right?
Yeah, that's what stopped me from building that big shit. That's really all I have.
Any questions or I hear a motion to accept and file the superintendent report?
So moved.
Moved by Justin, second by Kale, all in favor? Alright. Attorney report.
I know it says under me that we've got 5 new ordinances, but we don't need to do that. The statutory citation KSA 12-3006 permits city clerks to assign ordinance numbers. It lists the duty under city clerks to assign ordinance numbers. As per law, the city clerk's job cannot be legislative, it has to be administrative, which means that ordinance numbers are not actually part of the legislation. So Leanne can just designate, redesignate the repeal of the breed ban as 651 and redesignate the sewer tap charge as 652. And we can just have a little notice and state these two are actually these two at the front of the book, and then just put it online, and that's all that we need to do. So do you want to do that? You're the one who has to do that. So the breed ban, you will make it 651, and the sewer tap, you will make it 652?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. So we don't actually have to pass anything. That's just, there was actually much discussion about that in the, I've never had so many responses on the attorney listserv ever. I put it out there, because I read the statute and I put it out there, and I had about 6 responses in under 2 hours, and I've never gotten anything that fast, and most of them were, if somebody has something else, please let me know. So it was a good discussion. Other than that, I don't have anything. I will be resending those 2 new ones to Larry Kleeman, and he has now gotten me the link to the code online as opposed to the PDF version of it, so I will send the link. I think that's going to be easier, and it's got drop-down menus, so that way you guys can review it and let me know if you think anything about it. We've got most of the kinks worked out. Some of it's just language, and I don't know that it's worth fighting with him about it. I've told him, like that article with the banking that we discussed, I said if it's not a problem, the city wants to keep it as is. And he said, well, this is more comprehensive, and this is more, and I brought up, is it a problem? And he said, well, no, it's not a problem. It was okay the way it was, but this way it would be better. But all he would tell me about it being better is that it's more comprehensive. So I'm just gonna let the council look at it, and if you want it, then good, and if you don't want it, then I'll tell him change it back and change these other things. So that's what, I will send that link out. I'm just gonna reply all to Leanne's email that she sent to this for this meeting, for the agenda, and I will just send the link that way.
Okay.
Would you two like to be included on that email? Jen, Dan?
I think we should be anyways.
Jen, you're on today's email, or the email for this meeting? Great, then I will just reply all to that. I don't have anything else. I haven't seen.
Any citation?
There have been no citations.
I'll visit with Cody about the ones that we've discussed. I caught him last week and he didn't have time to visit, so I haven't had a chance to catch up with him.
Do we still have a dog outstanding?
Nope, got picked up,
Friday?
Good.
paid it.
Paid it?
They paid the bill and it picked it up.
Has that process been working?
Yes, much better.
And then as far as the other vet bill, I guess I visited with Lauren outside about, once we get that citation, then we would ask for restitution on that one to recoup those.
We would need to ask for restitution and have a judgment, and then in the event that the judgment goes unpaid, we would then send it to collections because we would have had the court proceeding.
Any questions for Lauren? If not, do I hear a motion to accept and file the attorney report?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Larry, second by Justin, all in favor? All right. Treasurer report, Jen.
We just got the usual Itron renewal for 2025, so nothing's due yet. They don't bill us till 2025, but it's just something that you guys need to know about because it'll be paid. For Justin and Bud, Itron is the hardware and software that we use for our radio read meter system. So we obviously pay a maintenance agreement every year for the equipment and software, and so it's just coming up for renewal.
Any questions?
When is
on
that paid?
I pay in January. They send it out plenty early just so we know, but I don't ever pay until the year it's in.
Any questions for Jen? If not, do I hear a motion to accept and file the treasurer report?
Move.
Moved by Justin, second by Dara. All in
Lightning
favor?
fast.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Clerk report.
So out there on the shared drive, there is a thank you note for support from the family of Cassie Braswell to the council. I have also put out there a day at the Capitol. If any of you are interested, we got it today in the mail, so it's under the clerk file. It is going to be January 29th at the Cypress Hotel in Topeka, Kansas. Doesn't state if there is any charge for it, but it's put on by KMU. I tried sharing with you guys an email. For some reason, if I try to PDF an email, it just does what it did, and you got code instead of the actual email. It is from Jeff Conley with the Fisheries Program. As you guys remember, the Community Fisheries Program is no longer, so we're not going to be receiving our semi-annual payments from them. But he did want to let us know that if we are looking into any lake improvements, there is a CFAP capital improvement grant that is due June 1st of 2025. Like if, I don't know, if we wanted to plant trees or do anything over there, we could always apply for that grant. So I tried sharing that. I don't have any information actually on the grant itself. He just gave me notice about it. We got an email in regards to the audit engagement letter. I still have not received it in the mail yet for, I believe it's our renewal, where they give us the price for what it's going to be for next year. Danielle wanted us to know that the library is not required to do an audit unless they have done over $250,000 in revenue. In the past, they've only been around $65,000 in revenue. She doesn't know if the council can force the library to do an audit, but she wanted to let you guys know. So.
It's not required, but I think it's a good idea.
I do too.
Right. And in the past they have, I don't know what their holdup was last year, or if they ever finished it.
They did.
Oh, they did? Okay.
I think just the transition and staff.
I think it's a good idea to just
funds.
And that is all I have.
How are we doing with working with Wyatt as far as stuff? You're training him on stuff in the office in addition to what Jen's done?
Yeah, he's actually the one that's made all the new LED signs up there.
Okay.
That was a fun learning curve of pulling in new ones and getting that laptop reset up. We did have to reach out to Reach Solutions to come and pull a lot of the easy art from the old laptop because it would let us, but it didn't like my flash drive until he formatted it in a certain way. So they were able to pull that. So he's been working on that. He's doing my cashiering type. He's been doing Jen's cashiering type. He seems to get that part. We haven't really gotten to go through like all the reports on how to find them, pull them. It's basically when they present of needing them, which is normally at the first of the month, for like the sales tax and confuse tax. So I'll be going over that with him at the beginning of next month.
That's something maybe you can work on. I just think where we've kind of, in the past we've had 3 people and then we've been down to 2 and now we're going back to 3. Having a job description of what those duties are going to be for that position, just so we know. I mean, if you want to come up with whatever things you're delegating there, so we know,
Right.
so we can come up with a job description, I guess.
I don't know if we wanted to incorporate any of the others that he's not restricted and can do. That I mentioned to you guys.
Well, that's one of the things we've talked about. If there's, like, if you can go out and evaluate properties or property cleanup.
I think maybe, Dan, if we can get your input as far as some of the things that he could do, like taking pictures or that kind of stuff, if that's something that you could work in to have him do some of that stuff. And then we'd have to figure out how that would, you know, between if he was,
Just give us an idea of what you think he might be able to do for you.
and if you have, I mean, the need, you know, if it would help alleviate your guys that he could do some of that stuff of driving around and or yourself, like property cleanup pictures, that kind of stuff. I know some of that, it's not just pictures, it's a judgment call of where is it bad enough, you know, but if you're like, hey, this property looks bad, could you go take some pictures? Where he's just doing the. Anyways, if you kind of come up with things, if you think there's something he could do for your department.
In the spring, I'm giving him leaf letters. I already told him that.
And I've been giving him, I've already fair warned him that he's getting the chicken renewals. I just went and, yes. I went and did the mobile home park one, told him what I was doing, and told him that he's going to get all of these so that he can dispense.
I think, along with what Amanda's saying, I think it would help us too to know what all 3 of you think that he's capable of and what we could put him together, and then it would give us a better idea on whether or not we think it would all work to spread him out and do some other things. Make better use of his time, I guess, so that he doesn't get bored or he's not sitting around or that kind of things. So I think that would help
And
us.
he has still been working on his mapping as well.
The mapping?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from anyone? Not to hear a motion to accept and file the clerk report. So moved by Dara, second by Kayla, all in favor. Council comments, Bud. Nothing? Kale?
What do you guys think about, I know we mentioned before about what we're paying the sheriff's department. It's around $8,000 a month.
82,000 a year,
6,900 with some change.
So I just wonder if we should reevaluate that first of the year, whatever it's due.
Our contract is the first of the year, right?
Should be basically,
I think they look at it in June for budget purposes.
But the
Yeah.
contract renews yearly and.
Pretty sure it's a calendar year contract.
maybe we should talk to Cody about what they're doing for ordinance wise, because really it's only dogs. So is that worth $7,000 a month or $6,000 a month? I don't know.
I will say that we can ask him to bring us those additional, because, some of the ordinance things that he may be doing may be going to district court. Without that report,
But you can't prosecute ordinance violations in district.
but some of them also fall under state, like
Gotcha, yeah.
like we adopted the STO, which is, so it makes traffic ordinances state, however, or it makes traffic ordinances cities for violations within the city limits, and it could be brought to municipal court, but he takes all traffic violations to district court, because it used to come to municipal court, and it was costing more
Right.
to enforce them than we were making on the tickets, and since the county attorney is a salaried position and I am hourly, in order to save the city money, all of that goes over there. And so there are certain ordinances that are also covered by state law, and so they may be going there and we just don't see that. But without that report where he actually breaks down, what got filed, I don't know how else to show that. And so I don't know if that's something that he could run monthly, and even if he's not going to come to the meeting, email it. I'm not saying we shouldn't necessarily. I think the negotiation point, though, I'm looking to pull it up, but.
Didn't we talk about how Bird City does theirs? When someone finds, you just pay it? So, we'd have to
The fine,
discuss that one.
we did discuss. that.
Yeah, we have a
Some
fine
of them have
schedule. I've asked her to email it to me. When I get it, I will forward it on.
That's part of it, is they have to go to court. and
Right.
that's,
Right.
and it seems.
And honestly, with the concern they have for the trucks that are going to be coming through, that's actually going to be, if there's that much traffic and they are speeding, that would probably be a significant amount of revenue generated if they decide not to go to court and fight it. Let me see if I have that
That
yet.
wouldn't be city though, would it?
Right now, all the traffic's,
Right now, all the traffic is going there.
but it seems like people pay it when it goes to district court as opposed to city court. Why?
Well, I don't know if
Right.
Right, municipal court is less severe than district court, obviously, but also I don't know if they have a fine schedule over there. I don't know if they have that. I know the Bird
I
City
would
has one.
think they would, because you just write on the back of the ticket and then
Right.
you can pay it.
Right.
Where if we had a fine schedule, maybe that would alleviate some of the coming to court.
Yeah, and whereas on the highway, if it's within city limits, it would come to that's how they do it over in Bird City, is in the Bird City limit on the highway, it's within the city limits, and so it goes to, the citation gets issued and written on a Bird City citation. If it's outside the city limits, obviously on the highway, then it has to go to district because neither city has jurisdiction. I'm trying to find the contract.
So those reports that he gives us, there isn't anything that really tracks any kind of ordinance stuff on it anyway, is there?
He had that one here a couple months ago where he did try to at least break down the show.
I think they're working on figuring out
How to do
break
it?
down the calls that are specific to us. And what it's on.
This is where you said the meter maids, ordinance made person.
Yeah. Yeah, they're here anyway.
Well, I mean, just, does it have to be a pass?
Right, whatever.
There are due process issues if it's not. I mean, they can take note of the violations, but it will be, there will be additional steps that I will need to do because they are not, they cannot do law enforcement duties without being a law enforcement organization. Most of what the sheriff does and the way they issue tickets was done to reduce attorney costs to the city, because if I have to go in and type up the complaint and then type up the summons and then submit it to the court and then go and have it served or serve it myself, because as an attorney I can serve process, there's going to be that additional work and that additional cost associated with it. I mean, if you're not having that cost, you know, the $83,000 a year cost, I don't know, you know, what that would look like budget-wise, but they cannot perform. They can witness and report ordinance violations. They can take pictures of ordinance violations. But as far as if we had someone's speeding through town, and even if we have a fine set schedule, they can't pull them over. They don't have the legal authority to arrest someone.
Right, but campers in the streets don't.
Right. That would be that would be same as property cleanup. Any city employee can take a picture of that and bring it to me, and I can prepare a citation. Well, when I do it, it's called a complaint, but I can do the complaint and the summons. I'm looking, here it is, okay, give me 1 second.
So we need to complaint, summons personnel.
That's the attorney.
Well,
Well, somebody that takes the picture
Yeah.
and says, here, this person's in violation.
Yeah.
Intern. If the
There you
intern
go.
do it.
Next to an intern.
I think
Right.
that if the intern can go do the property cleanups, I mean, I think that's, I know you and your guys have a ton on your plate, but we haven't had any, we haven't had any this year. And so, I mean, I think if there's someone who can go,
Time of year to do it unless there's,
I mean, I'm not suggesting we start now.
but yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on this.
but
Usually
right,
the
I
spring
mean,
is when we get on it.
We usually do it in the spring, and I had thought, you know, I proposed it before, and I'll propose it again. Maybe dividing the town into quadrants, and you know, April taking a look at one quadrant, May taking a look at the next quadrant, June taking a look at the next quadrant, July taking a look at the next quadrant, or I mean, we could even start in March, because by the time they'd be coming to court, it would be April, May, June, July, whereas it would be May, June, July, August. But then that gives them time to have good weather to do it. I mean, through August and usually it's pretty nice in September usually. So I know it was very mild up until about November 3rd this year. But yeah, I mean, I think that if we just get in the habit of doing that, I think it'll go really smoothly, and then we can address all of the property cleanups for that quadrant in one set of letters and in one day where they come in and one hearing, and if we just get on a rotation like that every year, I think that would be really helpful.
Oh, just real quick, I was approached by somebody on the wildlife board. You know, the city owns the gun club, and they would like to do some repairs and possibly put up a new building. And they were just a little hesitant where they don't own the property, and they just kind of wondered what the city's thought would be if they proposed that the city give them the property, and then with the clause that if they ever disbanded or no longer used, it would then come back to the city. That way they felt more apt of improving their own property when they actually own it, as opposed to we're putting improvements on city-owned property. The gun club, the wildlife.
I like that idea.
I mean,
That's good.
basically we own it, but we don't maintain anything, do we? With it, they basically maintain it all, so.
They have to buy it. Public purpose doctrine, you can't.
you-
It has to serve a public purpose. Any action you take must serve a public purpose. You can't just deed it away. You can sell it to them.
For $1.
You wouldn't be able to sell it for less than what you are selling the other lots. I understand that it's already.
How much was that lots?
It's honestly like 3 cents a square foot or like
If I'm
29
a
cents a
yard,
square
though,
yard.
it's like-
I think it's 29 cents a square yard is what it
29
is.
square
I'll
yard.
just sell it to them, whatever it is. Be done with it. And if the time comes, they don't.
buy it back
they'll
for the
buy it
same
back.
price.
Yeah.
They don't want it.
We'd put a reversionary clause in the deed that says in the event that they disband are they incorporated?
Yeah.
We'll just put a reversion clause that in the event that they disband, if they're either forfeited for timely filing or they dissolve, a certified copy of the filing from the Secretary of State will revert the property back to the city. And so if that ever happens, rather than having to hunt somebody down to sign something back to us, we would just be able to.
Hold up.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Do you want to? Will you be able to calculate the footage on that?
I mean, if they're really serious about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Who pays for the utilities?
Sure, they do.
They do?
I mean, at
They've
at
leased it
29
for-
cents a yard, I don't think it should be.
It's probably not acre.
Okay. Just saying, can't remember how much they know. It's like 10, 15 years.
Yeah, more than
You get an idea of kind of size the property is, and
that. Yeah.
we can decide.
Okay. I'll do some figuring, Lauren, and get with you and everything.
Yeah.
Come back next meeting and, I mean, if they're interested. So, the other thing, I just want 5 minutes of executive session for non-elected personnel, with just the council and mayor.
Somebody has to make a motion for that. I'll say it. Somebody has to make a motion for that.
Thank you.
I'm moving to an executive session for 5 minutes, coming out at 8:53 for the purpose of non-elected personnel,
Job performance.
job performance with just the council and the mayor.
Second.
See ya.
See ya.
Have a happy
Good
Thanksgiving.
one.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Moved by Larry, second by Kale, all in favor?
What's that?
Good. We're out of executive session. Decisions were made.
Might as well turn off that one.
Oh,
too.
don't do it, Mike. She won't like it. No, you should not do that. So we're looking at doing a Christmas party Friday, December 6th at 4 o'clock here, like we do with cookies and cheese tray. Does that work that works for you guys? I don't know that I'll be
Whoever
here,
can
but
make it,
whoever can make it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Send it. 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock, yep. Anything else, anybody? Your motion to adjourn? Moved by Kale, second by Justin, all in favor? Alrighty.